What's going on, Sha?
All right, first, apologies. I know. Anytime I come in with "all right" first, uh, um, apologies if you
Okay.
hear a mournful meowing in the background. I've had to shut the door. I'm now in a space where I can shut the cat out.
Okay.
So instead of her being shut in this room, I'm shut in this room. And
Okay.
I figured that should be fine. She's got the rest of the apartment, right? This
Right.
bitch still at the door talking about meow meow. And I don't know what to tell. I gotta do this right quick. So, but I just don't want her stomping on the desk. She's
Okay.
she's been very affectionate over the past couple of days,
Okay.
which is sweet, but also makes me wonder which one of us has an illness. You know what I mean? How animals can pick up on that. So I can't tell if it's her or me. And so it's nice, but I also can't have her stomping on the desk because everything on here, everything that I have to set up in order to do this podcast is literally propped up on books and Post-it notes. So
Okay.
so she comes through, and then a thing that cats do when they are bored or want your attention or whatever, my cat doesn't push things off of, like, tables. You know how
Okay.
they show cats pushing glasses off of cups off of tables, or she doesn't do that, but she will chew on wires.
Okay.
So if this bitch chews on a wire, my camera's gone like that, sound is out. Now it's just a picture of me making a weird face, like it can't. Yeah. So that's why I had to put her out. She will tire herself out. Out there is where the food is. It's where
Right.
her litter box is, a toy if she wanted it, a whole other room for her to destroy,
Yeah.
many rooms, the living room, my bedroom. She could tear up all kinds of stuff.
Listen, first of all, when you
Mhm.
said if I hear a mournful cat, for some reason I thought like one of her homies died. And like
Oh,
I didn't know
I
cats
mean,
did real talk, I didn't know cats did it, and I was ready for that roller coaster. I was like,
I
"Word?"
I mean, I don't know. She is very affectionate in a
Yeah.
way where I'm like, something has happened or you sense you know what I mean? Not that
Yeah.
she's not affectionate, and that's a thing that grows over time with cats once they decide they like you. But I mean, it's been just the 2 of us for a while, and the novelty should have worn off.
Yeah.
But unless she's picking up on my sadness, which sure. But I mean, it's not that deep. I mean, who knows?
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Two, I don't know a lot about things, Sha. I don't
Okay.
know a lot about most things.
Mhm.
I don't know a little about most things.
Okay.
But I do know how to set up a webcam. Uh you know what I mean? We could do so. You have
Well,
several friends that have offered to help make that room a creative space.
right. Here's the thing. You were working. Do you remember when your setup went down and you had to borrow your daughter's laptop?
Yeah, yeah.
And you remember
That
how
was
you
scary.
had to have it, like, basically balanced on, like, water glasses and
Mhm.
everything needed. Okay, so all I have is a laptop. So that's what I'm doing everything on. So it's just a matter of me plugging everything in. Not I
Okay.
don't move anything except the laptop and its
Okay,
cord.
okay.
Everything else is where it's
Permanent.
going to stay, which is better than the previous thing where I would pack it up because we were also
Right.
doing projects or eating food or whatever on that one table. This is a dedicated desk.
Gotcha.
So it's
Okay.
all here, but the hookup, like they're all wires. It's all USB things, and those get a little loose and wiggly. So if you breathe on it and that moves, game over,
Nah,
right?
you're right. You're right.
So now I was folding up pieces of paper to stuff under there, but then I was like, wait, I've got Post-it notes. I've got pads, many of them because I'm an office manager. So So I went through and I'm sticking pads under things to make sure that the connections stay in and don't fall and then
Yeah.
connect,
Ah.
right?
Let me ask you, are you someone who does cable management?
What do you mean? Like keeping them or
Yeah, like there's people that like they like once you set it up and you know it works, like I don't know if you're someone that's like, all right, now I gotta like zip tie these and like tape them so that they look a certain way.
I well, I've done that for sure if I knew that the setup was relatively permanent. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like I've run I've run cable in a where there's just the one coaxial outlet, right? But
Okay.
I gotta get it to the TV in the living room and to the computer that's on the other side of the living room and to the television in the bedroom, and the apartment is not a basic box. It is just boxes and weird angles because it's the bottom half of the bottom floor of a Victorian house, right?
Okay. Okay.
So, your girl's up here like, "I guess I need a splitter and cords, and then running them around the, perimeter of the room and over doorways, and then just, like, putting that where it needs to be so that I get cable that's in one corner of the apartment all the way to literally the other corner of the whole apartment, but you don't necessarily see the cords because 'cause I've tucked them. I've done all of that, but this setup is different in that, you know, I don't need to attach there's nothing that I need to attach or hide. I may need to move things at some point. It's
Okay.
all a lot more flexible because 'cause I'm not doing desktop, I'm
Right.
doing
Right.
laptop. So, everything is like the mic stays where it is and the cord is out and all of that kinda stuff. Um, but I don't need to attach it to anything because that's not what when there's not a cat in here stomping on everything, we're fine.
It works.
Yes, or a strong breeze, which I can't have or else you wouldn't hear me. But it's the connect into the ports.
Okay.
And, with time, like, each one of the connections, each one of the plugs are like there's a cord and then just like a very big thing to plug in there. So they're heavier than the cord itself, kind of.
Right.
So with
Yeah.
time, it kind of just like wilts a little bit with gravity and time. And that's kind of where we are right now.
Nah, that's fair. I,
Yeah, so it's just if I have these Post-it notes under them to hold them up, then the
good.
connection is being made, we good. But then I also got to shut the cat out. You know.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Mhm.
I feel a lot of empathy for you. You know, I want you to know I've been here.
Uh-huh.
You are not alone. Uh, this is uh this is one of the things that like I aspire to in terms of economic success. Um, I don't know what it's like to set up a computer or a laptop and have the right amount of USB inputs.
Right.
So like what you're describing to me, like I'm already panicking because like I know like the next thing you add, you out of ports.
Oh, I'm absolutely out of ports.
You know what
Oh,
I mean?
yeah,
Like
I'm done.
you
The
know what I
only
mean?
thing I can add right now is a literal old school monitor. That's the only thing that's not plugged right now. Um,
Real talk.
yeah, or it has to be a USB-C, which I
Right.
have 2 of those ports, but one of them is strictly for power.
Yo,
So I can't put it but that's fine because I gotta power the
you gotta
thing.
power up.
Right, so the only other ports I have right now are the monitor one and another USB-C, but, my regular old USB, yeah.
I feel
Camera,
like this
microphone, and we done.
I genuinely feel there's people that living better than us. They're like, nah, be like, we got enough ports. And I don't know what that's like. Like right now, I have every port used, and I have one port that I rotate between like five things.
Okay, and it's an external?
Yeah, like so I have like when I shoot something, I have a thing that records audio, the clip-on mics.
Mhm.
So I gotta plug that in. If I shoot video, my computer doesn't have a SD card input, so I gotta plug in the SD reader. That's the
Right.
second thing. When
Yes.
I'm editing video, I got like a special remote control to do that faster than like the mouse keyboard thing.
Right.
So that's another thing that like
Right.
rotates in. And then when like I'm like, yo, I'm artistically drained. I got my keyboard and my drum machine.
Right.
And like I feel like the longer I go without plugging those in, it's weirdly telling me like, oh, you ain't being creative. So like I forcefully want to like plug them in more, you know?
Okay.
But
Okay.
they're all in the rotation. And that's the extra stuff that I have like hard drives that like I gotta keep permanently in.
Right.
Because like I'll need that one file and it's on
Okay.
that drive.
So my question to you is, you have those external things where you plug one into the computer and then it has all of the extra ports that you use? Do you have one of those?
I every for everything but that. Because for I have other things that plug into a thing like that, but
Okay.
for those items I can't.
Yeah, right. The hard drive has to be in the
Yeah, it
actual
needs its
computer.
own
Right.
thing.
Okay, so then here's my question, because I don't like I'm not a Luddite, but I don't trust nothing. So if I had, say, a wanted to use a wireless mouse
Okay.
on my laptop because I'm tired of using my fingers. I'm getting jelly on everything. So what? But I also, those come with the USB thing you gotta stick in.
Right.
If you stuck it in one of the external port things, would it work?
It depends on the mouse. And because of that, I would recommend doing the newer option, which would be getting a Bluetooth one. That way you don't take up any of them,
Okay, all right.
and now you free up a port.
Yeah,
That's the
but
mistake I made with like two of these purchases.
okay.
I saved like $30 and added headaches for life. I got like a corded version,
Right, right,
you
right.
know what I mean? And now I'm stuck
Yeah.
with a USB thing.
Man, I tried to add, um, like, headphones to this laptop, to the Bluetooth
Yeah.
on this laptop. I swear it took, a year and 2 sets of headphones. Like, 'cause my 'cause, my old roommate and I, he had a Bluetooth speaker, and we would kind of share it. It was understood it was his, but it was in the main area, and we would have nights where we were just playing stuff off of, like, playing songs, picking a song, just jumping from song to song. And, so whoever's laptop was out in the living room at the time, that's the one that we used to get to Spotify to type up the songs or whatever.
Right.
So that was linked to my computer. Uh, Fine, great. And then I got my own, like, Bluetooth speaker. So, I went ahead and removed his from my thing. Um, and I'm trying to think. I think I did add my own to my laptop. Great, lovely. Then I was like, "You know what? I have corded headphones, but I also just got these Bluetooth ones, like, over ear, because that's what I prefer.
Yeah.
I'll just use the Bluetooth ones also for phone and laptop. Let me just go ahead and let me take it off of the phone so that I can add it to the laptop, and then I can just toggle whenever." My laptop was like, "Bitch," and just said, "No, I refuse. I refuse."
I don't
And I
like
was
them.
like, "But huh." And it literally, I tried off and on for like a year and a half, and it was just like nothing doing. And then I got like some actual earbud type of Bluetooth ones, and they were not, I was using it with my phone, but they weren't quite comfortable enough.
Okay.
It turns out really none of them are. But they weren't quite comfortable enough. And, but then I, got in a gift bag somewhere a set of, like, in-ear almost style of, Bluetooth. They were like sleep Bluetooth earbuds. So they kind of
Okay.
fit in the ear and they were a little bit flush. No parts really stick out. And that's so that you could lay down on them and listen to like white noise directly in your brain.
Okay.
And those are the only ones that actually fit my ear because my ears are so little and cute and adorable. They just can't handle all the stress of a normal AirPod or whatever. Um, and so I had these other ones that I was using, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll try to add these to the laptop." And the laptop went, "You know what? These will take."
Why not, yo? I'm telling you, I really think like technology got personality, yo. Real talk.
Yeah, real
Like, nah,
funny.
B, I don't rock with that dude. I don't care. I don't care if we Apple. That ain't my kind of Apple. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't I just knew immediately with the Apple AirPods, I was like, "Oh, no, those won't work." That half of that is sticking out, and I
Yeah.
can't it'll fall it'll absolutely I wear scarves. I worry about losing earrings with scarves. I gotta make sure even my hanging hook earrings that go all the way through my
Yeah.
earlobe have a back on them because them bitches will fall right out. Because again, adorable ears, which you'll never see if you're watching video over ear. As you can see, I'm covering the whole ear. You'll
Low
never
key
see.
over here, over ear.
Over hair, over ear. I have to make space
Real talk.
in the hair to make
Hell
them.
yeah, yo. This ain't
Mhm.
even a hoodie Shalewa week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hide the ears. They're too precious. They're too precious. That's what I learned. That's what I learned over COVID because they would just droop if I had a mask on for too long.
Yo, Shalewa. Yo, if you open the OnlyFans page and you just doing this shit, moving your headphones. Yo, that'd be awesome. That's funny as shit.
That's kind of funny. That's actually kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, we can go virginal with little pearl earrings.
Yo,
We can go crazy. They're double pierced,
woo.
but I don't have anything on the top of it or no top piercing or anything. So, that's for like dudes who like their women who don't have tattoos.
Real talk, yo.
Yeah.
Ty, you missing the bag right now,
I
yo. I'm
know,
telling
I
you.
know. Look, if I ever get a chance to do a comedy special with OnlyFans, then that's how I'll also supplement it since you have to have an account too.
Oh man, that's an opportunity right there. I mean, I've told you mine. I wanna like take off my Timbs and lotion my feet.
Right, yes.
That's what I want to do on OnlyFans. Just,
You
just
know
me
what?
lotion.
That honestly, that brings up a question, which I don't know if we really wanna delve into. We should try to do an interview or the article, and also I have something of note that I need to mention. Um, but do women have foot fetishes? I know I should know this. Anyone
Oh,
could fetishize anything, but the only people I see really talking feet, like talking feet,
yeah,
like wanting to see them in pornographic situations, they tended to be men.
that's
Whereas
fair.
women are just like, "Can you just cut your toenail?" Like, we appreciate a well-kept foot,
Right. See,
on either
oh,
end, but, like,
that goes against my idea then. See, like my
no,
thinking
I
was
said, "Look, men will absolutely watch you." If you don't care about the audience as
I
long as
don't.
they're paying, yeah, it's gonna be men. It's OnlyFans. It's gonna be men.
That's fair. I thought
Yeah.
I thought the reason that this would be interesting to women is because it implies that like, oh, I worked, like I was productive, you know?
Oh, we don't need to see you lotion up for that. Or
No,
if we
but
do.
ideally, like I'm taking off my shoes after a hard day of work is the idea. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, but you would all your feet would already have to look good by the time you unveil them
That's
for
fair.
women, I think. Whereas
Okay.
for men, they wanna see it scaly, they wanna see you put it back together.
Real talk. I'm
I've
giving
got
this thought.
views that I've never even realized, but yes, I think that's how that works. Also, women love hands.
Really?
Oh, yeah, this is something that, um was brought to my attention I didn't even think about, but once it was said to me, I was like, "Oh shit, that's absolutely right." Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I had a friend who was, complaining about, um, a dude that he knows and how his nails were dirty, and he was just like, "How's he gonna find love with dirty nails? Women love hands. They love clean," and I was like, "Oh shit, you are absolutely right," because
Yo,
that
that's
is a thing I
wild.
clock.
Ah, look at that. I gotta take care of that more.
But if your thing was, "Watch me, alright, here are my hands that are rough from a
Work.
day's worth of doing whatever," and then it's video of you, like, washing your hands with, like, a nail brush
Right.
and then applying lotion, now the ladies are interested.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, we like hands and forearms.
Yeah, Gabby told me that. Like she likes that my arm, like you can see my veins.
Yeah, yeah, apparently women
Yo,
like
that's some
veiny
shit.
arms.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, I'm like, you like that I'm like a quick visit to the doctor for blood? Like, I don't understand. I don't see the attraction, but she's like,
I
nah,
don't
it's a
yeah,
thing.
I don't think I mean, if I was asked, I'm like, I'm not sure that's something I would be looking for, but I guess
Yeah.
in the moment, maybe you're like, "I do like the veins." But yes, I've definitely seen or heard conversation of that, of just like, maybe it's the strain of I don't know. I mean, I could see my veins pretty well right at the wrist, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's sexy so much as uh, a reminder to not keep a knife there because my vein is literally outside my skin. So
So I'd never got it. I was like, all right, I'm sorry I'm chubby now.
no, it's
They're not
okay.
as visible anymore, but
That's all
they there.
right.
You know what I
As
mean?
long as when you pick something up.
Yeah, I'm still doing it all
Yeah, as
day.
long yeah. Honestly, it could just be you picking things up.
That's what I mean, I have a whole story about that, literally. Uh
Mhm.
I'm big on that. But yeah, something to think about. I'm gonna start like I wonder if like dudes would like start wearing like makeup on their forearm to like heighten their vein look,
Huh.
because like
Perhaps.
you can make that like shadowy and like highlight the vein.
You could. I mean, uh, uh, I feel like
You can't see this on camera right now, but like I've been like flexing my forearms right now, like looking at my arms, like I
I
looked up at
mean,
the camera to make sure that wasn't being like seen by the world, but I
no,
realized
no,
like
no one can
my
see it.
posture changed. I was like, yo, hold up.
I mean, I guess you could, some guys are well, I guess guys are starting with nail polish, right?
Right.
Um, some have moved to a little bit of highlighter on
Okay.
their cheekbones that which is really that's like gangbusters. A little highlight on the cheekbone of a
Yeah.
guy? Yeah. Um, some of them already naturally have long eyelashes. The longest eyelashes I've ever seen have always been on some man, and that's infuriating. Um,
Real talk. My boy
yeah.
Ramon in junior high school had crazy eyelashes.
Right, and
Real
I
talk.
yeah, and that's, very effective.
You know
But
how you know how you know how you know how terrible you feel as a dude when you get crossed over by a dude and you watch his eyes blink and you just see the eyelash. That shit crazy.
yeah, I mean, it's I think it's a step in, like, being firm in your manhood when a
Yeah.
straight man can look at, any other man and go, "That dude got pretty eyes."
Real
Like,
talk.
I think that's, yeah, good for you. Next step,
Ramon, you
nail
got pretty
polish.
eyes, yo. Real talk,
Yeah,
yo. That's
like
my dude.
like,
I
I can acknowledge
I
that.
can acknowledge that. Real admittedly, 30 years later. But I real talk, yo.
Oh, man.
That's wild. Okay. Well, I'm rooting for Lucinda.
Yeah,
I hope
she's
she makes
quiet
it.
now, I think she found a spot. She
Real
was
talk.
meowing through all of it, and I knew she'd get tired. Who wants to be there for 2 hours just like, "Meow, meow, meow, that bitch, there's food."
And I'm rooting for both of us, to get to a place to where either we're buying more Bluetooth things and we have an assistant that can take care of installing all of that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I'm right
Yeah,
with
I mean, it's you know, I've been on a couple of podcasts and you see the front, but behind the cameras, it is literally just wires, just a
you.
mounds of wires, and then when they hit say cut, you got to walk through the thicket of wires to get out of the room, you know. So I know I'm not alone. I know this is very blank behind me, but on the other side, there's a lot going on.
Oh man. Behind the scenes shot gonna be posted soon. Uh
Yes, yes,
real
absolutely.
talk. Let's get into the news. Kicking us off. Weatherman goes rogue on live TV with a grave warning about hurricane season.
Mm.
I'm here to tell you, I'm not sure I can do that this year.
Yep.
Yo, meteorologist from Miami, based NBC affiliate, with a chilling warning for his audience about an unprecedented hurricane season this year. John Morales addressed his audience, which is in a hurricane-prone area. Um, Morales' segment, which began with an archival hurricane forecast from about 6 years ago. In earlier footage, Morales assured viewers that the hurricane then being tracked would turn, and he provided an estimate for when the turn would likely occur. Remember that Morales asked as the clip ended?
Oh shit. That ain't good.
Yo,
Yo.
yo, he came with receipts against himself. That's different.
I mean, it's not okay, yeah.
After identifying the older forecast as one from Hurricane Dorian, the weatherman segued into a jarring warning. As you've grown accustomed to my presentations over my 34 years in South Florida newscasts, confidently, I went on TV and I told you it's going to turn. You don't need to worry, Morales began. However, what he said next was blunt and concerning. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not sure I can do that this year because of the cuts, the gutting, the sledgehammer attack on science in general. Morales continued referencing the well documented cuts to both the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration as well as the National Weather Service. Morales lamented multi generational impact on science in this country is stemming from those broad cuts.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yo,
Good for him because that's truly you when when they're announcing all of those cuts and they're just using the initials
right,
and the average American is just like, "Well, what the fuck is that?" You know? Like, "All right, well, I guess you I don't know what that did." So, no one knows how important it is.
right,
So I'm glad that he was just like, "Hey, bruh, I can't really do my job like I'd like to, and like you certainly would like me to,
right.
because they cut all the money from this thing that I feel like we could all agree is kind of important. So
Real
because
talk.
of that, you on your own. Happy hurricane season."
Yo, that's chilling. Yo, I'm curious now what time of day, like, is this like Good Morning America, midday 6 p.m. or like the evening newscast?
Oh, he probably hit him with this is like a 6.
Yeah, yo, you can't do this at breakfast.
No, no, start the
Real
day
talk.
like this? They would have been no.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this was probably like a 6 p.m.
Geez, yo, shouts to Mr. Morales. Yeah, he said 20%. He was mentioning that this type of staffing shortage is having impacts across the nation because there has been a 20% reduction in weather balloon releases. What we are starting to see is the quality of the forecast is becoming degraded.
Wow.
Yo,
And I'm
shot,
sure when they cut it, they were like, "I mean, the weather's on your phone," and it's like, "Hey, how do you think we got that?
real talk.
Who do you
Mm,
think tells my phone?" Oh, boy.
Yo, if this inspires more you to just talk your shit,
Yeah,
real
honestly,
talk.
if you have, a forum and you supply the kind of information that the GP needs and has come to rely on, and you see where that shit has been cut because of what's been going on, please talk your shit.
Real talk.
Please
This
let
is
them know.
real talk. This is the best CYA I've seen. Like this is cover your ass to the max. But
I
you're
Uh-huh.
also pointing where? Like, yo, this ain't cause I'm trying to slack off. They fucking up.
Right. Well, I mean, I wonder if you it honestly feels like it would be more work, because you gotta make up shit and fill in the blanks
Yeah,
of
he
what you're
don't want
getting,
that.
and then more importantly, you gotta explain why you didn't see it when it like, after it happens.
Right. And that's not what he
So
signed up.
right.
He didn't sign up to do like, after work reporting. He signed up to give you like ahead of the game reporting.
Mhm.
That's a different skill, whole different convo. You know what I
Right,
mean?
exactly.
Real talk. People that write the pamphlet and people that give you the preview ain't the person that gives you the review. You know what I mean? Those are different people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-mm. Good luck to that man. Yeah, I'm rooting for you. Okay. It might be your last week working, admittedly.
No,
Uh,
he'll keep them because of that. They
I,
absolutely this is absolutely the kind of thing that newscasters or, well, stations don't realize they like, but when a newscaster goes rogue and, like, pulls back the curtain,
fair. I was
like
just thinking because Florida's like a right to work place, but you right, you right.
no, yeah, no, they don't Florida's every place is a right to work. Like, I believe New York is a right to work place. I know and New York has unions and they pay attention to unions. I came up in Atlanta. Don't no one give a fuck about a union. Nobody cares about unions. So, and they absolutely were right to hire, right to fire. They didn't care about that either. So,
Oh, uh-uh. I I in other news, man who was arrested days after winning a $167 million Powerball jackpot request to serve out his sentence. That's right. A lottery winner from Kentucky who was arrested days after winning a $167 million Powerball jackpot is requesting to serve out his time. Last month, James Farthing entered a not guilty plea to charges of battery against law enforcement officer. However, this week, the Kentucky Parole Board said Farthing waived his right to a probable cause hearing and the final revocation hearing. He has requested to serve out his sentence, although it's unclear what that sentence is. According to police, Farthing was arrested in Florida on April 30th after being accused of assaulting an officer. It was just days after he bought a $2 Powerball ticket and ended up making Kentucky lottery history with the largest prize ever awarded during the April 26th drawing. He posted photos with the celebratory check 2 days before his arrest. An arrest citation states Farthing was at the hotel in Florida when an officer tried to stop the fight. Uh,
okay, hold on. I've looked ahead. There's not much left of this article. Why? Why do you think he did it?
I mean, listen,
He said he was going to split his lottery winnings with his mom, who said she would use the money to pay off debt. And here's what he said, "I've caused a lot of stress on my mom. I've made some bad decisions in life, and, God's been good because I've kept my faith and done right, and some things happened good for me."
okay,
Alright, but then 2 days later, you out here scrapping.
yo, real
So,
talk. You get
I wonder
depressed.
what I wonder what made him change his mind, or not change his mind, but decide to go ahead and do his is it because he figures when I get out, I'll have this money waiting? I'll do a bid.
Real talk. It's a good story. It's a good. You can sell a book.
Can you? Because I don't know why he would decide to do that, and I feel like if I was reading a book, I'd wanna know what happened in between him pleading not guilty
I
and
wonder.
deciding to go ahead and serve the sentence.
No, that's fair. I am curious if this is like a personal challenge of like, yo, I can make it in jail if I had this kind of money. And
Right.
now that he got it, he got to back it up. You know what I mean? Like he probably said it once talking shit. Like, yo, if you got like $10 million, jail ain't that bad. And then like he told his mans, yo, listen, if I ever come into 10 mil, I go to jail on purpose. And then he actually hit it, and now he got to do it.
I mean, I guess if he's just like, Yeah, I have this waiting on me, so no matter how bad it is in jail, once I get out, I have money so I don't, like, have to work."
That's
So
fair.
maybe he's done so many bad things that he wasn't caught on, maybe this is like a faith thing. Maybe he's just like, "Hey, man, I've done a lot of shitty things, and yet God still saw for me to get this money, but then I fucked it up immediately after. So let me go on and do a bid. Like,
Real
my bad,
talk.
God." You think maybe that's it?
That's beautiful, actually. Low key, paying back his he like the Kentucky white G Dep. You know, just like, yo, listen,
Okay.
I got to make my amends. You know, that's kind of cool, low key.
Okay. All right.
Um, yo, real talk, man. If you're able to listen to the podcast while in jail in Kentucky, I don't know, that seems really specific. But if you are out
Very
there,
like, how did you stumble upon us?
but if you're out there, James, and you really want to make restitution, all you got to do is help sponsor a couple of shows. One is called "Don't Reach in the Bag" by Shalewa Sharpe. It's a beautiful artistic journey. You know, looking for some funding. It's
Uh-huh.
an important story to share in the world.
Sure.
And
Sure.
I think it'll do a lot for your heart. For you, if you sponsor the show, real talk. You know what I mean? If you have that kindness and you want to go a little further, uh, "Sugar" by Gastor Almonte. Beautiful storyteller, important story that he's trying to get out there
Yep.
that could reach new heights with a $4 to $5 million infusion. Uh,
Wow. Okay.
you know, directorial vision would change completely, elevates.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Admittedly, most of the direction would be in his new house. Like he would completely move.
They're gonna film it in the new house.
Real talk. He has to buy this townhouse in Greenpoint. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of fire. Real talk. As soon as I read this, the mistake I saw, you win $167 million and you in Florida 2 days later, my G. Of all the places, if I get
Yeah, true.
167 M's and I'm in Kentucky, Florida, like I'm not even shitting on Florida like that overall. But
Right.
what Florida offers dope ain't that much different than what Kentucky offers is dope. You know what I mean? And if I get 167 million, I want to experience new dope, not
Yes.
similar dope.
No, that's an excellent point.
You
That's
know
an
what I mean?
excellent point.
I'm reading, I'm like, you went from Kentucky to Florida on
Yeah.
167 million dollars. And that's you're like, yo, real talk, Florida.
Yeah. No,
Yo.
that's an excellent point. Very
And
much
nowhere
so.
in this article of Florida did they mention a city. So I know you ain't even in like poppin' Florida. You in like a town.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Real
Absolutely.
talk. They would have said like Miami or Orlando or something. You in a bird, B. My man, you out here having crystals on $167 million? Yo, do better,
That's
bro.
not bad. That's not bad.
In other news, a fake flight attendant took 120 free flights before being arrested in an SFO, I believe that's the airport.
Oh, in
Uh,
San Francisco?
right, yes. A
Okay.
flight from San Francisco International Airport was central in a criminal case involving a man who poses a flight attendant for more than 120 flights for free travel. Last week, a federal jury convicted Tyron Alexander, a 35-year-old man from Florida. Florida, I'm telling you, this is a through line this episode of, of wire fraud and entering into a secure area of an airport by false pretenses. Uh, Alexander was arrested on February of 2024, attempting to fly from San Francisco to Australia. Yo,
Yeah,
this is a dude with $1 million mindset right here.
you were pushing it. You were pushing it.
The outlet reported that he had previously worked for American Airlines in customer service and took advantage of a little-known airline policy. Pilots and flight attendants are allowed to fly for free as non-revenue passengers on other airlines. And
Yeah.
according to the Justice Department, Alexander repeatedly abused his policy. The DOJ said that Alexander possessed dozens of different badge numbers and dates of hire and claimed he worked for 7 different airlines.
Mm.
Information he used on an airline carrier's website to book the special free flights. Alexander was ultimately caught after Spirit Airlines noticed his information appearing on 34 different flights.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so then my question is, does Spirit fly to Australia?
Yo,
That can't
not.
be right.
I think he used the Spirit plug to fly elsewhere.
Okay. I
And they were
mean,
like, "Yo, you
I
pushing
I
it."
I get how, but yeah, you can't do that like in Australia. You gotta this has to be a domestic only,
Real talk.
like, kinda grift, I think. I feel
This
like
is
this is
Kentucky to Florida.
No, I mean, this is a good grift of just, like, all you gotta do is just have, like, a kind of a nondescript, uniformy looking thing maybe, and you're just like, "Oh, I gotta get over there for," and they're like, "Oh, what's your bag?" "Okay, great." Like, I could see this working.
Yeah, I mean, 120 times. It
Yeah,
was.
but, I don't think not Australia. That's, like, a lot of hours. I mean,
Yo,
because I was gonna say that's, like, 22 hours, but that's, like, New York to LA to Australia, which is
yeah.
what I did, but still, San Fran to Australia, that's still gonna put you at, like, 19 hours or some shit, and if you got on a plane that had to stop at New Zealand in any way, they got their whole thing that you gotta sign up for that gives you that
Yeah.
yeah, like, there's just stuff that you gotta do that's not gonna I mean, if you're just riding, San Fran to New York, New York to fucking Atlanta, Atlanta to Chicago, like, no one's gonna notice that shit.
Right.
But Australia, my dude,
Real talk,
that's a
dude.
whole day over
Yeah, nah.
the ocean. Nah, that's not going
Real talk. You gotta claim luggage now. You
Not
know what I
even
mean?
that, you could do a carry-on, but they're gonna look at you real weird, like, "What you need a carry-on for Australia?"
For
That's
work? You know
Yeah,
what I
you're gonna need half of that to make it through the flight. That's insane.
mean?
Like, yeah, that
And
was just you flew too close to the sun,
real
sir.
talk, literally.
Yeah.
I think that also, like, my concern would be is that, like, when you do it this much,
Mhm.
like, yo, people change jobs. Like, you won't just be recognizable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, did I see you flying last week, my G? Like,
Right, yes, yeah.
you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, like, I flew with you when I was at Delta. What's up? You over here now?
When did you leave? Yeah, and all that kinda stuff. Also, what are you doing? Oh, I guess it was over the course of a few years, but still,
That's a lot of flights,
that's
yo.
a
Real
lot
talk.
of flights. If your job I mean, I guess his job is like a job where you gotta travel a lot and that his job is trying to get over on the airlines. If your job is grifting, I guess you do have to kinda be on the move a lot. So maybe
Nah,
that is why, like a comic, every weekend you gotta be in another city, but
real talk, yo.
I
These are the
mean
people we talk to on airplanes, Sha.
who's talking to people on airplanes? That's where you go wrong. I don't talk to nobody. Mm-mm.
I love airplane combos. They
Yeah, I
dope.
know you do. I know you
Real
do.
talk. Them shits are
But
awesome. I
yuck.
meet the strangest people on them shits.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just gonna smile and nod and look back at my phone or my puzzle or the screen or something. Or stare off into space, whatever it is. I am busy. Imma go back to
Yo,
sleep. I try to go to sleep while they taxi.
yo, real talk. I'm wondering, like, I don't think my parents have flown 120 times combined, yo.
Right.
This dude did that shit a couple of years on a hustle.
Right. I definitely haven't.
Yeah, like, I'm aspirationally hoping that, like, because I'm a comic, I'm
Mhm.
across that number, unlike most people.
Right. Yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean?
I mean, I'm thinking, yeah, I definitely haven't, and I've actually been to Australia. So, like, that's
Real talk. Even
like,
if you
what?
count my legs, Shot. Shot's like, I went to Australia. That's 6 flights.
Yeah,
You know what
So,
I mean?
that's insane to get caught that way.
Yo, yo, real talk, man. Yeah, now, I'm a fan of this dude. Real talk,
Yeah,
yo. Gonna do his
I
do
thought
it.
you'd come around. I thought
Real
you
talk. I
it's
was
not
trying
I
to hold
mean,
it back, but I
it's really not a bad hustle. Like, I'm not mad at him because at
yo,
first I was like, "You mean you were pretending to be a flight attendant, like, to work on the flights?" But no, if it's the pretending to get on flights for free, well, yeah, man, you do what you gotta do.
That's just fire, B. Real talk, yo.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
it's not bad. It's not bad. Oh, can I interject something here?
Please.
Okay. I don't think we discussed it because I feel like in the past 3 to 4 episodes, we've done, like, 1, article an episode. So,
Okay.
but I do just wanna mention to the people to the troops and correspondents who sent me the news stories about A, the loose zebra,
Okay.
and B, the loose zebra getting caught and airlifted. Look, it happened in Tennessee, I think. Hold on,
Okay.
let me see here. Alright. A Tennessee county is fascinated as an escaped zebra runs wild. Um,
Okay.
there is a zebra that's been running wild. He ran wild for a week in Rutherford County, Tennessee. Like, for a full week. That's, like, just south of Nashville. And the cops are all like, "We don't wanna scare the zebra. We need to give it time to calm down." Um, they, uh they called it Ed, which is so ridiculous.
Yo.
But I appreciate it. I don't know, I know you all are aware of my love of animals that have escaped and are running around, but it comes from, a zebra that escaped in Atlanta.
Mhm.
And, in, like, February, I feel like it's February 18th. I remember the day, like, I was at work. Anywho, I will never forget the zebra, and so when I see other zebras, I'm like, "Oh, good for you," but, my heart is with the OG zebra. Um, but this one stepped it up, because I mean, the reason I love the OG zebra is, 1, it ran through downtown Atlanta, and I was there the day that it happened. I didn't see it, but my boss did come up from downstairs. He went to the post office and he was like, "Hey, there was a zebra running down Peachtree Street." So that's insane. And then 2, a week later, a bison escaped. So,
Yo,
like,
y'all was doing it out
we
there,
went
ATL.
through a thing. Um, but the thing with this zebra, Ed, in Tennessee, is that they finally caught him and they had him in a sling where it looked like he was sitting up, and they just kinda airlifted him out of, and I gotta say, you know what, Ed? You did that.
Real talk, yo.
Yeah, nah, you ate that.
Shouts to Ed, yo. Real talk. Yo, he looking, yo, real talk. That that looked like the end of a real Scarface
Like
movie right
like,
there.
for real. Like,
Yo.
I swear to God, if you look at footage of them lifting the zebra and you listen to the coda of Layla, like, that shit's kinda tight.
Oh man. And looking down at all his enemies, yo. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
like, yeah, Ed's gonna come back, and he's gonna come back with a vengeance. Ed is mad, Ed is mad. So, yeah, I just wanna say thank you for sending me the stories, plural.
Yo,
Um,
I'm with it.
please know that, I didn't mention anything, because, uh, I don't know who is even reading when I put anything out there anyway on social media because it's all such a shit show. And, I've been, like, going through my own stuff, so I haven't been, sometimes I have to, like, not acknowledge, say, celebrity deaths or animals that have
Right.
escaped, which for whatever reason are things that I'm known for. And it's quite a combination. And, but know that I saw them and know that, I was following the story of Ed the zebra. I was. I just didn't say anything. But yes, late at night, I was like, "Hey, I wonder how he's doing." You know?
Everything about that is awesome. I pulled up a CNN article. Every sentence about Ed, like there's like a certain magic to it. And I was against the name Ed until I started reading like it adds something to it. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
um Ed escaped into a wooded area. Ed was filmed trotting through a neighborhood.
Right.
You know what I mean? My favorite though is the pursuit of Ed. Like it doesn't even sound like an animal anymore. It sounds like
No, it's like, yeah,
something more. You know
it's
what I
like
mean?
we're trying to, like, track down, I don't know, erectile dysfunction or
Real
something.
talk. I thought it was like one of those id ego things. Like, is Ed a part of the personality at this point? You know what I mean?
Like the
I'm trying to develop my
not the
Ed.
ego
You know what I
and
mean?
the Ed. I can't with you.
Real talk, yo. Yeah, yo. My Ed ran off. Like I thought this whole article, it just reads like that to me. Like we're just talking about somebody's like mental development. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
not there
god.
emotionally. My Ed is actually in Tennessee. You know what I mean? You know, you get me, you know?
Oh, wow. So I wanna be angry. I wanna be angry with you, but I can't because I mean, you right.
It works. I'm
It
telling you.
works. Yeah, there is something metaphysical about this about the zebras running.
If you would like Shalewa's self-help book titled The Book of Ed, okay? All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You won't get mad at the foreword written by the OG, original zebra that ran away
Yes.
in Atlanta. 5 stars. You won't get mad at the what you call the postword, the end of the thing.
Oh,
Foreword is the beginning.
forward postscript?
Postscript
Yeah.
written by the security guard at the Atlanta Zoo that let out a zebra and then a bison in back-to-back weeks. You know what I mean? He started a movement. You know, if you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs this week to Brandy Spain and Aaron Anderson. Always appreciate y'all. With all that said, I am I gotta tell you, surprisingly close to dressing like a zebra every now and then. Gastor Almonte. I like a lot of black dickies. I wear Yankee hats with like white on them. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I don't think Lima was her name. Lima.
Lima was in it. Yo, I'm telling yo, low key, like they all sound like R&B songs, yo. I fuck with that, yo.
Nope, not Lima.
Lima was a name, yo.
Nope. Don't do it to yourself. You'll
Yo,
be singing
expect that
Blue
remix.
Hill all night, but singing Lima.
Real talk. New Carlos Santana featuring G&B. Lima
Lima.
coming soon.
Oh boy.
With Lima Advocate, fan club member and founder, Shalewa Sharpe.
Yeah, I am. I'm the only one keeping her alive. Oh, she didn't get to be airlifted in a cool way like Ed did. So Lima, like, ran through 5 o'clock traffic so that Ed could saunter through the grass somewhere in Tennessee. Well, Lima was out there in the shit. She was in the shit. Who runs into Atlanta traffic at 5 p.m. escaping a circus? Like, come on. Lima was a G.
This has been an airlifted episode of the War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace.